How's it going, everybody? Nikki D here, Kind of Show Live Man, yet again today outside. I know, weird one. I'm trying to film less with the Sony. I do like it inside, but I do enjoy my on-the-go videos. Today we're at the we're actually at a little pond where I know there's frogs. Take a look at this. Here's the pond. We're gonna talk about this little shit in a minute. But yeah, so this is a nice little spot, man. I was on a mission today, as you can tell. I've got all the I've got the gear all out here. But yeah, I was on a mission today, man, and I was out trying to get. It was funny. I just sent a voice memo to a friend. I'm always very specific when I go places for photography. So today was like my objective, right? Was like, okay, I'm gonna go somewhere, and I'm gonna get a picture of a turtle, a tortoise. And I knew exactly where it was because there was a Reddit post being like, hey, here's the pond this guy's at. And I went to the pond and I saw two people put their phones out, and I knew it was like, okay, like they're taking a photo or something at the water. That's got to be the turtle. So I got them. And I've been over here getting pictures of frogs. So if I remember, I'll throw a few pictures in so you guys can just see what I'm doing. But anyway, this intro will be very quick, 2-minute intro, and then we'll get into the topic. The other thing I want to talk about is this kid over there, dude. There's like baby ducklings in there. I swear to God, he ran up and jumped into the pond. It's like maybe 1.5 feet of water, and he starts like bawling his eyes out immediately. He just threw a stick at them. He straight up just tried to jump in and like stomp on the baby ducklings, right? I'm over here trying to take photos of them too, right? But it's like, you're gonna kill these things, right? And then like 2 minutes later, the mom's over there, he's over here by me. He's like taking a rock and throwing them at them. And then you probably couldn't hear it, but he just had a stick and he tossed it at them. And the mom's like, yeah, you gotta stop. It's like, no, like, dude, throw them in there. Seriously. It's ridiculous. That being said, though, so I want to get to the topic of the video. So I've made this video once, and then I ended up just never publishing it. Like, I think I just deleted it. But I want to talk about an addiction I had, because I think I've been journaling, and I feel like it would be helpful to express my thoughts not on paper sometimes. And this is a good way for me to talk about things, and I'm sure people can relate to me here. So an addiction that I had, it's actually very specific, but if you know, you know. So MMOs, man, not joking. They're designed to be addicting, and I'm going to explain a little bit about the history of why I'm making this video in the first place. But basically, yeah, I want to talk about it. I just think it'd be interesting. Cathartic, right? So, man, I started MMOs like way back in the day, right? As anybody would, right? You start on a really crappy one, you work your way up. I played the Old Republic. Now, arguably, by the way, the Old Republic isn't really an MMO. It really isn't, honestly. And by all regards, it's not. It is an online story game, which is why I actually just re-downloaded it today and I'm playing it, because that's exactly what it is. But the problem was I got to Guild Wars 2. I will say this without a shadow of a doubt. If you've ever played Guild Wars 2, or if you haven't, it doesn't matter. It is a good game. It's fundamentally a solid game. I have nothing against the game. But I've stopped playing a couple times. That's why you know it's an addiction. I've stopped playing that game, that game, a few times. And every time I come back to the game, it doesn't matter the period of time. It could be 8 months, it could be a week, it could be a month. It doesn't matter, right? I always re-download and go play again, and then I get back in the same loop that I was the last time. So Guild Wars 2 in particular, though, I'm not like hyping up the game. I'm just prefacing why I'm talking about it so much. Or why I was playing it so much. There is no, just fly died on my backpack. Like, I didn't even crush it. It was just dead. There is no subscription other than a one-time purchase. So you buy the game, you have it. Now, sure, if a DLC, downloadable content, comes out, you can buy it. And it'll be like $40 or whatever, and they'll do sales all the time too. You can get the first DLCs. I remember buying them; they were like $7 for 2 of them, Path of Fire, Heart of Thorns together, which is insane, right? For the amount of content you get. But that being said, you can get that for free. You can also play the game right up to the max level for nothing. And I don't remember. I think there were some restrictions, but either way, it was like I was chilling, like I was paying nothing. So I started Guild Wars about 7 years ago. And specifically Guild Wars 2. I have briefly paid the first one, but Guild Wars 2 in particular is what I'm talking about. And it's lateral progression, right? It's not horizontal or like vertical, right? Like most people think MMO, right? Like you want to get up to the highest level, you want to get the best gear, whatever. When you get to Guild Wars 2 and you get to the highest level, there is no real more of that. You're just kind of going sideways, right? Like you have the best gear. So as an example, if I quit the game today and played the game 8 years from today, my gear would still be the best gear in the game. right? Like there's nothing changing like that. It's more just like cosmetic at that point. Same as the cash shop, right? Like the gem store, or whatever you want to call it. You know, you're buying stuff online that just is cosmetic. So I'm just prefacing part of the reason I thought I was playing it, and then I'll get into really what I think I was playing it for. A sort of random noise, I don't know what I heard. But either way, it's a fantastic idea, and that's what really kept me coming back to it as well, because you could just quit the game for 8 months, come back to it, and you're just right where you left off. What I didn't think I really realized was the way that they get you to keep playing, you know. And I'm talking about this because I've only quit the game like 2.5 months ago, and it's been completely liberating not playing it. So when I last played the game, I basically made some kind of end game content, like gear. And when I did that, it like burned me right out because of how long that process takes. And then I realized that I would just have to I'm going to just do it all over again. So it's going to be like another month and a half of just grinding, right? Rather than just playing the game, you know, playing the game, enjoying the game. Think about it like when you play like a multiplayer game like Call of Duty, right? Most people go on multiplayer, they just play a couple matches for an hour, you know, 8 matches or whatever, they log out, right? That's normal, right? That's what I can't do in Guild Wars. And if I do, I find it very tough to do it because it's like I want to play more, right? I like the game, that's the problem. I enjoy the game. And then on top of it, it's all the levels that you don't know that are just making it addicting for you. You know, the fear of missing out, right? If I miss that meta at 8 o'clock, I can't get it until tomorrow on the daily reset. If I don't log in today, I don't get a bonus for logging in, you know, some kind of loot, right, from my homestead. You know, there are things like that that are just designed to keeping you logging in constantly. When I would log in and do like a meta, like 9 o'clock, right, I would do a specific world boss. And actually, if you play the game, you probably know exactly what world boss I'm talking about. But if I do that world boss, like you'll see in the map chat, it's the same people, right? The exact same people. And they log in and they do that one. They port to the next map. They do the one right after that because it's proven to be the best like daily reset, you know, train, right? You do whatever. And I wouldn't even play like other games. That was the problem. I wouldn't play other games. Like I had the Old Republic and I was paying for the subscription. I wasn't paying it because I wanted to play Guild Wars. If I went home, it's all I did. Like it was like 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock when I went to bed. It was like basically just Guild Wars, right? On a weekend. Now, there's nothing wrong with me playing. I don't have a problem necessarily, I'll admit that, without playing video games. I don't have a problem with playing video games. The problem is with MMO video games because I can't play another game. I can't do another task. When I game now, which again, for about 2.5 months, now I'm like 8 o'clock, I'll kick back and watch a few TV shows or a movie. You know, before that, maybe I'll clean up the apartment or switch it up and work on a video, right? Like I'll do different things and like I'll take breaks in between and I can play a few games. A big thing too was like the period of time I'd go to play. If I go to play Skyrim, I can play Skyrim for half an hour and move on, right? I don't feel like I missed anything by playing for only 30 minutes, but I can't with Guild Wars. It's like, it's just not enough time, right? Even World v World, which is one of their like, maybe not so popular modes, but my favorite mode actually turned to be my favorite mode because you would battle players and then you would like take keeps and camps and towers and things, right? So you take objectives. They give you daily reward. They give you sorry, not daily rewards. They give you rewards by the minute. So like every 5 minutes you get a little loot box, right? The problem is there's like a weekly cap, and of course you want to get all of it. But that means you have to play a bunch of it throughout the whole week. So even that was like, I'm logging in, you know, whatever. But that was probably my favorite thing to do when I stopped playing. I'm sure I'll play the game again, but I tried playing it like probably about a week ago. And I only played for like 3 minutes and I logged out. You know, it just didn't have that appeal to me because I knew it would just be the same thing over and over. All you do is just, you log in every day, you do the exact same things every day, and then you try to just get the best stuff in the game you can to say you have it. And there's really not much more to it than that. And I got to admit, man, I will admit that 100%. I was completely addicted. I can say it. I can say it without. I'm not saddened to admit that. You know, it's a fact. I was completely addicted, and I think it's taken a lot for me to back away from that. You know, to be able to now play new video games, to now do other things. And it's wild, man. Like, even like if there was like plans, it would be like, well, I could stay home though and play some Guild Wars. And I don't know if it's like, You know, I don't know all the science behind it, so I can't tell you all of that. But I'm wondering if it's partly like, partly in my mind, it's like, and I'm enabling myself to do it. If it is it like escapism? Like, am I trying to escape reality by playing a game, right? Getting lost in the game? Maybe, right? And it is really hard for me to say, but I feel like a lot more clear that I haven't been playing it. I've just really had no one to talk to about it, honestly, and I have been journaling, and I thought it'd be interesting to talk about because it's something that I've been kind of happy with. But like, I will admit, like, there's a chunk of me, right, that still wants to play the game, that would still love to log in like right now and just play. I'm talking about it. That's enough, right? Because it brings back all the memories. Like, I've had great times on the game, but I think for my sake of clarity, it's like I gotta do what I'm doing, and I gotta stay away. So I don't know. Just I thought it was interesting, and something to talk about. Because most people talk about like an addiction, right? Like, even like mundane ones. It's like, well, I drink too much sugar. I eat too much sugar, right? Like, I had to quit doing so much sugar. It's like, yeah, okay. Like, and I used to drink a lot of juice, just like straight up juice, and I just basically drink water now. But like, Guild Wars was just not like an MMO. Basically, it's what it is, but it was specifically Guild Wars 2. It's like, man, I couldn't like pull myself away. I found it very, very hard to do that, to log out, and I would attempt to play another game, and I would play within like 5 minutes. I'd be trying to log back into Guild Wars. That's how bad that was. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting to talk about. All right. I hear a bird, so I'm going to try to take a picture. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.